Hey everybody, if you're out there. Yeah, I didn't promote this one. I've just been kind of working on things. Got all my new gear sometime in the very near future. I'll mention it later when there are actually people here, but that I'll do a little mini studio tour of my little mini studio. So I to catch up, if anybody's watching on the replay, it's been months since my last streaming stuff, and I've got some great new news. Is that the band DirtyHelen is that we did all that series about the meeting up again tomorrow, Thursday, May 8th, to discuss logistics and set lists and where we're going to rehearse and what venues are we going to play. And but unfortunately, I'm called out of town on a personal matter, but I'll miss that meeting. But I'll be bringing the cameras when I do show up to those meetings and document everything that I can. Hey, Justin. So I'm really excited about that. Other than that, just getting new gear set up and then just kind of hitting the wall with creativity, just not feeling musical at all. So I know that several people in the community, Lori and other people, it has a slap echo in it, like it was feeding into two. It might have been. I was messing around with that earlier. We can try it again at a test maybe sometime soon, but in the next few days. But anyway, some friends, Lori's Mishmash and Hugh had mentioned they, would love to see some live mixing, editing, live recording. And although I'm not really in the live recording mode at this moment, I do have a ton of material that I need to mix, I need to edit. And I thought I'd start with this one first. And as we get into it, I'll tell you more about it. But this is a song that I wrote, I think it was right after the shooting in Lavalde in the elementary school. It just kind of wrecked me. I was done with people saying thoughts and prayers, and just the government turning an eye to it, blind eye to it. And so I wrote this song called Jesus, Guns, and Money, and brought it to my friend Mark Tanner and said, man, your voice would be really great on this. And he obliged me, and then we got Bobby Lopes, rest in peace, to play drums on this. And he managed to get us video, and we pretty much had the song mixed, just needed to work on the video. But then he passed away suddenly, and we didn't feel it was the subject matter of this song was respectful to play, because he was a very religious and spiritual person. And although he'd understood the message, we wanted to be respectful about it. And then, of course, that was, 2 years ago? And things just got in the way and kept getting kicked back. And so I revisited the song recently and was like, man, it was mixed more like a demo. I didn't really give it the proper work that it needed. So I'm going to jump over here and to Logic. As you can see, I spent the last couple of days actually really editing the drums. He had limited microphones, so there was bleed and everywhere. And he didn't have a bottom mic, so I couldn't, that brush sound that you get from the snare, didn't really have that. All we had was the top, and it sounded kind of like a timbale. So I had to actually put samples of the bottom snare mic in there, and then also helped out with the rim shot. And then realized, I will talk about the fills later, but there were a few times that, he didn't have his toms mic, so they kind of disappeared when he went there, so I had to actually sample and trigger those, and then manually place them. So I did that ahead of time, because who wants to see me eliminate every snare track hit on the kick track, and every kick hit on the snare track. And but as we get to the point of doing the triggers and the fills, I'll definitely tell you what I did and show you what I did there. But so let's just give this. And at the end of this, probably not this session because I've got more work to do on it. But right now I've got my old channel, my mix bus over here, if you can see that, that I threw together for the first demos and the final mix of the first demo. At the end of this, I'm going to strip all that down and remaster it, and I'll do that live. But let's just give it a quick. I think I have the vocals muted right now because I was working on something else. Yeah, I did. So I'll give you a quick idea of what the song is, and then we'll just dive in and start. And we're just going to go through the tracks and see what we recorded, see if there's anything that needs to be edited, and see how that goes. Justin, let me know how this sounds. I want to check those background vocals real quick. So those out.
Into the chasm without a rope. It's hard to fathom a future without hope. We ain't never going back. Gotta keep it moving on. Jesus, guns, and money replaced our nation's song. Things ain't never gonna change.
Yeah, I think those ahs are a little bit washed. And I need to see if there's any reverb I need to pull out of that. They kind of get buried. And then we have this nice little
I don't mean to be so negative, but it's weighing on my mind. Mama said we should pray for change, but I think that's a waste of time. Time to stand and deliver. No time to play nice. If we don't.
What was that?
Time to stand and deliver. No time to play nice. If we don't do something now, our kids will pay the price. We ain't
Yeah, so that's the basic drift of the song. So let's just, like I said, I'm going to be doing a lot of editing. I might even recut some parts. I'm not really pleased. I played this for Justin, and he felt like there were some issues with the crunch guitars, that it might have been too crunchy or something. And I think I might recut these cleaner. One track is on an old Fender Tweed, and the other one is with my Soar PT100. It's a UAD plug-in, but it's fantastic, not the real amp. And I'm going to just listen to those real quick and see. I don't know. Right there they sound fine, but maybe it's some EQ within the mix. They might be... I think this one is a little muddy, this lead track, solo track. Yeah, that does sound muddy. No, I'm not going to use that one. My favorite, this is one of my favorite plugins for guitars. Shoot. It's one of my favorite EQs for anything. It can make a snare just punch. It can make a kick snap. It's great for getting articulation and bass. It's not a stereo track. Oh, let's try this again. I need to clean my rollerball mouse because it's a little sticky. Let's go with that. It's a stereo track. I just upgraded recently to the latest version of, there it is, Logic. So there's some new features that I have just learning about, which is cool. So let's listen to that. Let's pull some of the mud out of it. Now it's squeaky, the tinny at the top. Yeah, I think that feels a little bit better. Duck the guitar with the lead Vox. Yeah, that would be good. EQ the bite out a bit. Yeah, you know what? Are you talking about the crunch guitars on the chorus? Let's try that. I'm not used to working in this split window. I have two monitors, and usually my mixer is on one. And so I'm doing it this way because the Ecamm can only show one monitor at a time. Duck it with the lead Vox. Okay, so let's go and try that. So what we're going to do is on the electric guitar bus that has both the Tweed and the PT100, at the end of my signal chain here, I'm going to put on just a compressor. This will be fine. So what we want to do is we want to check, this is a side chain audio, and we want to take Mark vocals right there. Started faster.
Things ain't never gonna change as long as there's a crux. Jesus, guns, and money could be the death of us.
Let's see how quick. I think the release needs to be a lot faster. It's really got to pick up right after he says something.
Never going back. Gonna keep it moving
Right here.
on. Jesus, guns, and money replace domination's song. Things ain't never gonna change as long as there's a crux. Jesus, guns, and money could be the death of us. In the shadow of a steeple, they play the game of three.
Big new remarks.
Jesus, guns, and money are nailed upon a tree to claim their place in history. They surgically decree Jesus, guns, and money now claim the holy three. Into the chasm without
Good thing. Yeah, so push the threshold down until it actually kills the guitars and pull back. Gotcha.
going back. Gotta keep it moving on. Jesus, guns, and money replace domination's song. Things ain't never gonna change as long as there's a crux. Jesus, guns, and money could be the death of us. Never going back. Gotta keep it moving on. Jesus, guns, and money
Yeah, the vocals already stick out
replace
much,
domination's song.
so much clearer.
Things ain't never gonna change
Great idea, Chase.
as long as there's a crux. Jesus, guns, and money could be the death of us.
That's awesome, Justin. Maybe next time I get into one of these mixing things, you can come on and through Zoom, because now we have stereo audio that you'll be able to hear. Beautiful, rich, full stereo audio. So you'll be able to actually hear well. And we can have the conversation instead of reading it. But great. Okay, you said the left crunch guitar. Duck that guitar with the lead Vox. Let's see. Let's hear before and after. So this is my comp right here with the, okay. This is without. So let's see if how the guitars interfere with the vocal.
We ain't never going back. Gonna keep it moving on. Jesus
This is with it out. Now the sidechain compressor.
Things ain't never gonna change. As long as there's a cross. Jesus, guns and money could be the death.
Yeah, I think it still needs to be faster. And it maybe a little too much.
We ain't never going back. Gonna keep it moving on. Jesus, guns and money replace domination's song. Things ain't never gonna change. As long as there's a cross. Jesus, guns and money.
Okay, I want to hear what it sounds like on the second verse. Because they're doing something.
Shadow of the steeple, they play the game of three. Jesus, guns and money are nailed upon a tree. To claim their place in history, they surgically decree.
That's a great move, Justin. Thanks for that tip. I love it. I would have been going through EQ first, but they do sound okay. That was a great tip. I'm gonna just, these are completely dry right now. And what I'm using, you'll see I've got all the way across every track, except for, no, it's in the backing vocals too. I don't have it on those tracks because that's where I wiped out the reverb on those. But I've got everything going to bus 10 at some point. There's just a little bit feeding into everything. And on what bus 10 is Ocean Way, which is my favorite. You can remic drums and things like that. You can remic guitars, vocals, whatever. Or you can just use it for reverb. Well, for whatever reason, I've got it set on remic. I want it for Verb. And I only have the middle mic on. I can make the room bigger there. I can get more of a close up. I might try that too. And I put that on just about everything that I cut dry so that it feels like all of the instruments are recorded in the same room. Put that to the side. Let's just hear what these sound like dry and then with some. I'm going to give a little bit of that room in there. Let's see what it sounds like in the mix.
In the shadow of the steeple, they play the game of three. Jesus, guns and money are nailed upon a tree. To claim their place in history, they surgically decree. Jesus, guns and money now claim the holy three. Into the chasm without a rope. It's up to fathom.
All right, so this is something don't do. I got lazy when I was, this was just a demo. It's back in 2022 or whenever it was. And when I was working fast, I would throw this vocal, the Chris Lord Algae Epic, just right onto the channel strip because I bought the plugin, watched his tutorial about his pitch, and this is the way he works. He says buses take too long. I like to mix hard and fast, so he would throw it on the channel strip and then use the mix, the dry mix here. So apparently that's the only thing I have on these background vocals is I've got a channel EQ. Yeah, that carving out the back end, giving a little push upper mids, and then I'm kind of killing that out. Mainly because I have hearing damage, can't hear those frequencies, and do not want to create dog whistle music. Duck the snare from the vocal as well. That's a good idea. We'll come back to that. Right now, I just want to find out why these background vocals are so dry. I mean, so wet. So I noticed something there. Well, not only do when I push in the epic, the stereo field narrows drastically. Listen to that. That's been bugging me. I was like, I know I panned these, but they felt like they kept coming up the middle. Listen to that. All right, so that's just a bunch of crap. I'm wondering. So I've got no reverbs assigned to it. I've got this delay. This is a slapback. I kind of like it. But it's just not wide enough. I'm going to try another dirty trick. When I say dirty trick, I mean quick and dirty. Just throw it on there, see if it works. Old plugin. Let's see if we can keep the nice slapback delay and the throw delay on it and just widen it with this tool. All right, now let's just try both with and without. I don't think it needs a slap. Yeah. That's also a good idea, which I can do that. Here. I need to just bite the bullet and get the fab filter stuff. Their EQs are just superior. So I think I can do it with this. Yeah, and actually I could do it with a different plugin, but so far I'm liking what. Let's bring the mix back in real quick. Let's mute Mark for a quick. Yeah, that's the problem. I don't know if you can hear it, Justin, but when I use that S1 plugin, I'm hearing phasing. It feels like it's washing in and out of phase within the mix. All right, I don't like that, so I'm just going to kill it. I'm going to leave this epic one in here for now. I do have a reverb. Oh, wow. Got the wrong verb in there. Let's grab... oh, Kush. I want to get the gold plate. And I'm going to quickly send these to that. And I'm going to do post fader. I'm going to kick it all the way up so I can hear it. I haven't used this in a long time. Let's take the reverb time down. It's still too big. This is a fantastic plate reverb plugin if anybody is interested. No width, that's good. Output is fine. Squish. What does that do? All right, now let's just pull this back down. do another trick that I was taught by a pro mixer. Sometimes to make the bass just a little bit stronger, I'm going to throw on a stereo plug-in, monitor stereo. Take the stereo pan.
To be so negative, but it's weighing on my mind. Mama said we should pray for change, but I think that's a waste of time. I stand in the mirror, no time to play nice. If we don't do something now, our kids will pay the price.
Are you talking, Justin? Are you talking about the drive knob and the reverb that I was just using? I'm not sure. Let's go look. I bet it does. See, do I have that large verb on anything else that I can test it with? No, the only thing I have it on is the throw for the chorus and the backing vocals. Okay, so let's see. Let's push it. Oh, let's get to a place where it works. Yeah, that is actually adding quite a bit of distortion or saturation, and I don't need that. I'm already dealing with too much. I'm going to pull that out. Great call. Let's see what it sounds like in the track without Mark singing over it. Probably do. You know what could probably use? Oh, why did I have that on there? That's adding saturation. Yeah, this is that vintage Aphex aural exciter, which is notorious for adding high-end saturation that sounds great when you solo it, but builds up in your mix. I'm going to add in my good old there we go. My API without that off. With that off. One second, Jason. I'm going to check something. I don't like mixing in headphones. It's deceptive at times. No, unfortunately, that sounds better. I don't have that one. Black Salt. I can show you what was in the drums. What you wanted to see it? How much was in there? The kick and snare tracks. Let's do this. Let's turn this on so we can see it better. Let me save it and then I can just go back. It was so much in the snare, but in the kick there was a lot. Just solo the kick. Let's do this. Yeah, it's from a small. Yeah, but there was just a lot of. Besides, when I was adding the the triggered snare, which is here on this track. I'll just snare out. I'll slow out the snare. His snare first. And here's the bleed in his tracks. That's the snare track, the only snare track it gave me. So what I did was I added in this, which is the triggered snare, mic from the bottom, and then just blended it in with his. I'm hearing some clicks. Oh, I appreciate it, Justin. What I did was I simply, on the kick, as you can see, separated every kick. There's a couple of times when there's bleed in there, but when you hear it in the context of the drum mix, you don't notice it. And Justin, remind me, wasn't it you that asked if I could provide you samples of his kit that we could have access to his drum library sound library? I think I sent it to you, but I would rather at some point with these edited drums maybe send you a better, cleaner sample, because those were unedited really. But we'll talk about that. How long are we been in this thing? Yeah, I'll probably only go for a few more minutes. But so what we're doing tonight is kind of diving into this track. What was in it? When I hear things, fix it, and then at some point I will master it. Let me get out of that. Yeah, here's my master chain right now. I'm using, what was this? Oh, that was Ozone 9. Yeah, I've got the Ozone 10. Didn't buy the Ozone 11. I'll probably run that again, maybe. I do like this plugin, this one knob, Greg Wells Mixcentric. It does some nice. Here's with it off. And off. It's just a nice, that's a nice little thing that I'll throw on to kind of give it some sheen. I've got an express compressor that's just barely hitting too much. I like it just to kick it down a little bit. Secret weapon for me is this tape machine, J37. I've got it set on mastering fat and open, and it's just about it. Coming in. It's just nice. It just gives a little bit more space. And then I've used this just as basically my brick wall. And I've got it set so that it will go. I've got on punch. And then never exceed -1 down here. Then I have a multimeter where I like to check my correlation down here. I usually try to keep it around -12 dB. And then because I have hearing damage, hearing loss, I love this tool, which sometimes it functions, sometimes it doesn't. Today it's not. I guess I need to get the new Isotope 11. Maybe it's better designed for these new Macs. But it'll show you if the track is when it's functioning correctly. Resize, which it should. It's got a bug. Anyway, I'm just farting around at this point. Well, Justin, thanks for coming and hanging out and giving me some great advice. I absolutely adore your idea. Let's just hear that real quick on a chorus. And with the guitars right here.
Guns and money replace domination song. Things ain't never gonna change as long as there's a crust. Jesus, guns and money.
Yeah, great tip. Pull your ratio down a little more. That could smooth out the transition between the non-duct and duct. Looking at that.
Domination song. Things ain't never gonna change as long as there's a crust. Jesus, guns
Yeah,
and
I
money
like that.
could be the death of us.
Cool. All right, I'm going to save that, and I'm going to bounce that while I'm here. And then Justin, I'll send you the mix to see what your thoughts are, so you can have it in your studio. Okay. We're going to call this Live Mix 01. All right. Well, while that's bouncing, I am going to click here. So, if anybody that was interested of what my sessions look like, there are some bad mistakes, some messiness here because it started out as a demo. But just going through the tracks, I think the parts were performed well. The tones are good. I know that there was a massive build-up in the in the mid range, anywhere from between, like 800 to 1K, maybe a little bit lower, 500 to 1K. It was just filled and just chasing down things that might have some distortion in it, and seeing if I can get some more space and some more dynamics. And Justin, thank you so much. And JamProSound, check him out, his YouTube channel. Great tips. I haven't sat down and actually worked on edited for about 6 months now. So this has been fun, getting my gears back and shaking some dust off. And that is almost done. Let's check back. And there goes the fade out. All right. So, again, thanks so much, Justin. You and Marshall had really helped me figure out a lot of this routing, internal routing, getting my DAW properly running through, through my streaming software. I'm using Ecamm Live. And so you guys are both a great help, and I appreciate you. And I really love getting your ears on a mix as I'm working on it, and I would love to do more of that. So anyway, this is not a regular night that I'm going to be doing it. I'm just going to probably go live. If I know that I'm going to have a couple of hours that night, I might as well just throw my Texas Jackdaw shirt on, comb my hair, turn on my studio lights, and just go to work and see if anybody has any ideas. So thanks again, man. I'll talk to you soon, Justin, and thank you, everybody out there. Just stay safe, be cool, be nice, and buy music. Don't steal it. I don't know why I said that. So I'm going to say good night, everybody.